Oh man, so another struggling for Bitcoin, and this has left FANTOM retracing down to levels below some of the levels we were sharing in yesterday's video. I said we could be retracing all the way down to our support line at 237 and testing our 4-hourly ribbon. Remember, my video titled yesterday was I will flip bearish if this happens, and I'm going to show you right now what's happening in the charts. Am I now bearish? What's happening on the 4-hourly? What's happening on the daily? And what's going on with Bitcoin? So first and move over to the charts, guys, and let's take a quick look here at Bitcoin. And as we can see here on Bitcoin, you can see we're really fighting for this level here right now. We're still super extended, continuing to bleed to the downside, and we're still below our 4-hourly EMA ribbon. Okay, guys, so you can see here a lot of candles here, sideways action, really trying to hold this 41,500 level mark here on Bitcoin. And the bulls and bears are really backing out, because if we lose this level, guys, we are going down to one test this violet wedge from our bigger triangle pattern, but then also the 38,500 level. So this won't be looking good for Bitcoin here, because we've got the psychological support / resistance at 40,000 as well, which is kind of holding up as a floor here, right here below some of these lows here. But we're still creating lower lows and lower highs, and it still shows that we're in a downward trend here on Bitcoin. If I show you here on the daily chart as well on Bitcoin, you can see how extended we are from our EMA ribbon, and we're trying to now bounce off this violet wedge. Okay, so remember, if I zoom out, you can see this violet wedge is what we broke out from to the upside. This could just be a massive retest, right? So in the macro structure of things, it could just be a massive retest of this wedge to bounce higher. So this is what we want to see. Do we hold the 41.5 mark? Do we need to come down to the wedge slightly lower at 38.39? Because then after that, our next support line doesn't come in until 38,000 and 38,500 roughly here on this horizontal support. Now, what does that mean for some of our favorite altcoins? Well, here on FANTOM, which has, to this point been holding up pretty well, like I said, once Bitcoin continues to bleed, we're not going to continue to have 10-15% up days on FANTOM. Yes, we had a temporary decoupling, let's call it, but how long is that going to last? Well, you can see here on the 4-hourly, we had a massive spike down here on FANTOM just after we posted our video where I said, look, we've created a lower high here, we're creating lower lows, it looks like we're curling over, and we may be getting a retracement down. And exactly as I said that, you saw that we've fallen from highs now of $3.15-ish to now below our 237 support line, and we're now sitting at 230 and 229, flicking between those numbers right now. You can see here on the 4-hourly chart, guys, we're trying to pick up some support from our 200 EMA ribbon on 4-hourly period, right? So this is that teal line here. We're trying to pick up some support from here. If we fail to bounce off this line and get back above our 237 mark, we could be heading lower down here to our next support line, which sits at about $2.08, and then after that we have to go all the way down to 194. Okay, guys, those are the levels I'm looking at here on the 4-hourly. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, we are now bearish on our 4-hourly chart. I said that if we close this candle below, we're well below our 4-hourly EMA ribbon, and this could start the a downward trend. We've got a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low. Could this be a downtrend now? Could we be retracing? And could we now be saying, okay, there's a lot of fear in the market right now, there's weakness in Bitcoin, no fundamental catalyst, and will now some of the altcoins start to move alongside it? Could be very interesting. Let's take a quick look at the daily chart as well, because here on the daily, what you can see now is we are not bearish here on the daily on FANTOM. Very important to understand. Like I said, when we had this massive move to the upside, whilst Bitcoin was continuing to struggle, FANTOM continued to have green days. Just look at the number of green candles in this upward trend. And now we've had three red candles coming down to our EMA. But look how that wick down below our EMA was bought up by the bulls again. It showed some good strength here. Now we're opening up today in the green territory, which is showing some sign of a bounce. Not a super powerful bounce, but it's a fight back nonetheless by the bulls. Could this be a dead cat bounce? Could it be a small green candle before a bigger red candle to the downside? That's what we're looking out for. Alternatively, it could just be a nice bounce to the upside. If you look at the previous run, look at this run here. Green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, red, green, red, red, and then a big move to the upside, right? Could we be having a little bit of a call off, which we've had over the last 3 days, and then a bigger move to the upside? Could we get a bullish engulfing candle breaking through 237 and to the upside, or are we going to show some weakness, lose the 237 level for good, and head lower down to 208 and then 194? That's what I'm looking at over this next period of time. Remember, if we get a close below our EMA ribbon, so if we lose the level at 208 importantly and close below our EMA ribbon, we would then flip bearish here on our daily chart on FANTOM. Okay, so we're already bearish on our 4-hourly, we would then flip bearish on our daily chart. So very important to keep an eye on that. Now, if I flip over to our Fibonacci levels, very important to look at these as well, because you'll see an important pattern here. If I go back to the 4-hourly, you will see here, if you focus on the blue Fibonacci ratio lines, you will see we are trying to bounce here, very importantly, off our 0.5 level. That's 220, okay guys? We're sitting at 230 right now, in between our 0.5 level. We wicked as low as, if we take this red candle which sent us down on the 4-hourly, we wicked as low as 214. So we picked up some support from the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Like I said, your next Fibonacci level is sitting at 197, okay guys? That's where we need to look out for. We could even retrace all the way down to there. Even at 197, it's not the end of the world given what's going on with Bitcoin. It's very difficult for these coins to continue to run. Bitcoin is struggling, guys. As much as we like to think, we're in a decoupling and some of our layer one solutions can really start to move, the reality is we've not proven that, right? We're not in a situation where some of our favorite altcoins, particularly something like FANTOM, which is like 6, 7, 8 billion in market cap, that they're going to just fight against, the likes of Bitcoin, which is $1 trillion enterprise, right? So it's natural that this is going to happen. We need Bitcoin to pick up. This is where, for me, this is not financial advice, for me, this is where I like to do my work, right? This is where I like to raise as much liquidity as I can and allocate it to the market in my favorite plays. That includes Bitcoin, that includes my Solana, that includes a lot of my favorite projects. If you haven't watched my video outlining how I think about my portfolio, go check that out. I think it's called altcoin portfolio or something like. Go check that video out, because that will explain to you exactly how I go about breaking that down, and that's what I'm thinking to do right now. I'm just allocating on these retracements, guys. Like I said, a lot of people were messaging me, a lot of views were coming on this video at around the mark when we were back at $3.15 here on FANTOM, and you see a lot of people coming to the market, right, and saying, oh, I want to pick up some FANTOM. But the reality is, now's when you on these retracements. That's what I was telling you at the time, and I continue to tell you that now. You need to wait for these retracements. This is a good retracement now, guys. 220. If we fall lower down to 208 and then 194, now you need to be asking yourself, what's your conviction on FANTOM? Are you going to be a buyer, or are you going to be somebody that's just, needs that green candle conviction for you to buy? Because if your conviction is there in FANTOM, you wouldn't have an issue either way, right? You'd be buying in right now because you've looked at the total value locked, you've looked at the tokenomics, you've looked at the project, you believe in the project, you've seen the mass adoption. When we just rallied there briefly to 315, did that give you confidence to say, oh, hang on a second, if it's doing this when Bitcoin is not moving, what's going to happen when Bitcoin's roaring? What happens when Bitcoin gets to 69,000? And then let alone that, what happens when it breaks that and starts creating new highs? Is the market not going to go crazy? And at that point, what's the altcoins going to do? If FANTOM could have had a 13% day when Bitcoin was down 1.8% at the time, what's going to happen when Bitcoin has a 10% day? And this is what we need to be asking ourselves in our high conviction plays. This is how we need to be building our conviction. Take your time to do some research, set your price levels for how you want to ladder in your positions, and wait for these beautiful retracements to enter your position. Not financial advice. If you don't have any conviction and you're just investing because your friend told you FANTOM is great, that's not going to work, guys. Do you know why? Because if this thing retraces down to 150, 130, 120, are you going to have the conviction to buy more, or are you going to panic sell? Because if you buy now at 220 and then panic sell at 150, you're going to say it's a bad project. You're going to say it was bad advice, right? You're going to say, oh, you're going to blame the world for why you made a mistake. Whereas those who have conviction and continue to hold, when it gets to $5, when it gets to $10, and you're just allocating as many tokens as you can, psychologically, you're not worried about the price. I just want as many FANTOM as I can, because one day they're going to be worth $10 a pop. That's the mindset you kind of want to develop. And in order to do that, you really need to believe in the project, not from what I'm saying, not from what anyone's saying, because I could be wrong, right? And that's the reality. A lot of people message me and say, oh, you got it perfectly right, you've retraced down just like you said in yesterday's video. Yeah, but I don't want the credit for it, because I could be wrong plenty of times as well, right? And the reality is, the only reason I'm right, got it cut off there, but the only reason I'm right where other crypto influencers or YouTubers could be wrong is because I'm true to myself and I'm true to the community. I just show you what I see in the charts, and there's no me lying or saying, because for some YouTubers it's, oh, if I say it's going down, I'm going to get less views, I need to keep the hype up, right? I need to say, oh, FANTOM's going to the moon, FANTOM's going to... I don't need to say that. I'm going to tell you what I see in the charts, and I'm going to keep it 100 and keep it real with you. And if that means my views go down, so be it, guys. We're here for the long run. We're here to find projects that really work, and that's what I'm committed to doing on this channel. So if you appreciate this blend between technical and fundamental analysis, regardless of where I am, I just pick up my phone and give you the update in a timely manner. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to support this channel a little bit more, head into our public Discord server, free Discord link below. If you want to support even more, hit the join button, become a member of this channel. You'll get an emoji, a special sticker next to your name, and you'll get some altcoin emojis which you can spam up in the comments. But more importantly, you can have access to our community thread where you can ask me questions at any time on your favorite coins, your portfolio. If you have any questions around that, you've got access to me to answer those questions for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.